In 1964, Ford released a car that was never supposed to change the industry. It was cheap. It was simple. It was built on a Falcon chassis with a sporty body bolted on top. Ford expected to sell 100,000 units in the first year. They sold over 400,000. Today, that same car has been in continuous production for over 60 years. It's the best-selling sports car on the planet. It has fans who race it, restore it, collect it, and build entire car shows around it. So what happened between the Secretary's car and the supercar killer? 7 levels happened. Today, I'm breaking down every version of the Ford Mustang, from the one you can buy for $9,000 to the one that costs more than most houses. Let's get into it.
Level 1. The used Mustang. This is where 80% of Mustang ownership actually begins. Not at a dealership, on Facebook Marketplace, or a used car lot. A 2015 to 2017 Ford Mustang EcoBoost, 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 310 horsepower, automatic or manual. Price range, $9,000 to $15,000, depending on mileage and condition. Here's why this matters. This is the first generation of Mustang where the 4-cylinder isn't a punishment. It's genuinely quick, it's genuinely fun, and it wears the same body as the V8 car for a fraction of the price and the insurance bill. Who buys this? The college student who wants a Mustang badge without a Mustang car payment. The first real paycheck buyer who wanted something with a pulse. The person who did the math and realized a 4-cylinder Mustang out-accelerates most of the sedans on the road anyway. The honest truth about Level 1. Most people who start here get exactly what they wanted. The look, the sound with an exhaust, the badge, without the running costs of a V8.
Level 2. The new base Mustang, $32,000. Brand new 2025 Ford Mustang EcoBoost Fastback, 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 315 horsepower, 350 pound-foot of torque, 10-speed automatic, 13.2-inch touchscreen with Sync 4, and a fully digital 12.4-inch driver cluster. Here's the part people miss. This base Mustang comes standard with a full digital dashboard that used to be a dark horse only feature on the outgoing generation. Ford didn't cut corners on tech to hit this price. They just didn't put a V8 under the hood. Who buys this? The practical buyer who wants a genuine sports car silhouette without a sports car insurance quote. The daily commuter who wants something that turns heads in the parking lot at work. The person upgrading from a used EcoBoost who wants the warranty and the new car smell. Level 2 is where you realize the Mustang nameplate alone is doing a lot of the work. You're getting a legitimately quick, good-looking car before you spent a single extra dollar on the V8.
Level 3. The Mustang GT. $38,000 to $42,000. This is where the Mustang stops pretending and starts delivering what the name actually promises. 5.0-liter TI VCT V8 Coyote engine, 480 horsepower, 415 pound-feet of torque, choice of a 6-speed manual with rev matching or a 10-speed automatic. 0 to 60 in about 4.3 seconds with the automatic, quarter mile in the low 12s. The real story at Level 3 isn't just the horsepower number, it's the sound. Ford tuned the GT's exhaust note specifically so it's recognizable from 2 streets away. That sound is half the reason people buy this car. Who buys the GT? The person who grew up with a Mustang poster and finally has the money to buy the real thing. Someone who wants a genuine V8 muscle car they can still drive to work 5 days a week. The buyer who cross-shopped a Camaro SS and a Charger and picked the one that still says Mustang. The honest truth, the GT in the right color with the performance package wheels still turns more heads than cars costing twice as much. Ford's design team understood something with this generation. The Mustang stopped looking retro and started looking like a modern Predator.
Level 4. The Mustang GT Premium with Performance Package, $47,000 to $52,000. And this is where the GT becomes something else entirely. Same 480 horsepower 5.0-liter V8,
But now, with the GT Performance Package, Brembo brakes, a Torsen limited slip differential, staggered wheels with summer tires, a strut tower brace, and a raised rear spoiler. Add the optional MagnaRide adaptive suspension, and you have a car that Ford engineers genuinely tested on real racetracks, not just a badge job. 0 to 60 drops to 4.1 seconds. Lateral grip jumps noticeably. This isn't the same car with stickers. The chassis behaves differently. Who buys this? The enthusiast who wants to do the occasional track day without buying a second car. The driver who read every review, watched every lap time comparison, and picked the exact combination that makes the GT the best value performance car on sale. Here's what separates Level 4 from Level 3. It's not just a straight line car anymore. It communicates through corners. The steering has weight, the chassis talks back, and on a twisty road it feels like a completely different animal than the base GT.
Level 5, the Mustang Dark Horse, $62,000 to $68,000. The car Ford's own engineers built for themselves, not for the sales department. Modified Gen 4 5.0-liter Coyote V8, 500 horsepower, 418 pound-feet of torque, a stronger Tremec 6-speed manual with a titanium anodized shift knob and rev matching, or a 10-speed automatic, 0 to 60 in around 4.4 seconds. Not dramatically faster than the GT on paper, but that number lies. The Dark Horse gets a stiffer front subframe, unique dampers, wider rear track, and a chassis tune developed specifically for track use. Who buys the Dark Horse? Not the person chasing a badge. This car has almost zero status among people who don't follow cars closely. The buyer here has done the research, read the lap times, and knows exactly what they're paying for. The honest truth? The Dark Horse is one of the most track-capable American muscle cars ever sold with a factory warranty. The fact that it still says Mustang on the back means enthusiasts respect it deeply, and everyone else just sees a Mustang. That's exactly the way Dark Horse buyers like it.
Level 6, the Shelby GT500 and limited editions. This is where the Mustang stops being a car and starts being culture. The last generation Shelby GT500, supercharged 5.2-liter V8, 760 horsepower, the most powerful factory Mustang ever built. Original MSRP around $75,000. Clean examples now trade between $85,000 and $110,000, depending on mileage and options. There's also the Mustang Mach-1, a naturally aspirated tribute to the 1969 original, now becoming a modern collector piece. Clean examples climbing well past their original sticker. And then there's the actual vintage market. A numbers matching 1967 Shelby GT500 doesn't sell for tens of thousands anymore. It sells for hundreds of thousands, sometimes over $1 million at auction for the rarest documented cars. Who buys at Level 6? The collector who understands that provenance and rarity matter more than raw horsepower. The enthusiast who's chased this car since childhood and finally has the means. The investor who noticed that limited-run Mustangs, old and new, have consistently appreciated in ways ordinary cars never do.
Level 7. The Racing Mustang. The Mustang has raced in some form of motorsport in every decade since 1964, but Level 7 is the Mustang GT3, Ford's factory GT3 race car, built to compete at Le Mans and in IMSA's top class. Cost to campaign a car at this level, well over $500,000 before a season of racing expenses, not street legal. Full carbon fiber body, sequential racing transmission, slick tires, roll cage, and a V8 producing well beyond what any road-going Mustang makes, tuned purely for endurance racing. It's recognizable as a Mustang from 50 feet away. Everything underneath is a purpose-built racing machine. But here's what makes Level 7 matter beyond the race car itself. Every technology proven on the GT3 program feeds back into the road cars. Aerodynamics, cooling, braking systems. The Dark Horse you can buy at Level 5 exists partly because of what Ford learned running this car at Daytona and Le Mans.
The honest verdict. Levels 1 and 2 are for the person who wants the Mustang look and feel without the V8 running costs. The EcoBoost delivers that better than people expect. Levels 3 and 4 are for the buyer who wants a real V8 muscle car they can drive every single day. The GT and GT Performance Package hit a value point almost nothing else on sale can match. Level 5, the Dark Horse, is for the driver who's done the research and doesn't need anyone's approval to know what they bought.
Levels 6 and 7 are for the collector, the racer, and the people who understand that what Ford has built quietly over 60 years is one of the most significant performance stories in automotive history. The Mustang never really tried to be a status symbol. That's exactly why it's outsold every other sports car on the planet for decades, and why the people who love cars actually love it. If this was useful, subscribe. I break down cars the way they actually work, not the way the brochure describes them. See you in the next one. See you.